Well, hello. Today is Wednesday. I'm the C5 nut. So, this is what we've got in store. My beloved C5, we are going to drop the diesel tank and hopefully repair the brake pipe, which is front to rear brake pipe. It's burst above the fuel tank. So I'm not just going to replace one, I'm going to replace both because when one goes, the other one shortly follows after. At the same time, I've got some new rubber hoses to go on it as well. So I'm just from literally from the front back, I'm replacing anything brake related. So new brake pipes, new flexes. Obviously, it's having new disc and pads on the rear as well. We'll see how badly the calipers are. I'm hoping they'll be alright, but knowing my luck, no doubt I'm going to have to get some new calipers for it. But that's another story for another day. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do is start taking the plastic panels off and somehow drop the fuel tank. So that will be interesting. Okay, so there's the fuel tank. It's absolute massive, and here's the fuel. Here's the brake pipe, and it's actually leaked just on that corner there. So I'll see if I can get that better. Yeah. So I've got to take all of this off. So what I'm going to do is about here, where it's nice and straight, I'm going to cut the pipe and then put a new piece in. The reason why I'm going to do that is to get to the front, I've got to drop the front subframe, and it's an absolute mission to do. Yeah, so, and to be honest, the rest of the pipe is absolutely fine. So I'm going to cut it about here and then just replace the whole back end. So I'm going to replace both pipes, and I've got new flexies. So yeah, I'm just going to just replace it all, really. There's no point just changing the pipes without changing the hoses. The hoses are a mission to change if the tank's in place. So while I've got the tank out, now's the time for me to change the flexies as well. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing next. Okay, so I've taken the pipes off, and as you can see, yeah, they weren't gonna last anytime soon. I had to cut this side off only because the bracket for the tank was in the way and I just could not get onto it at all. So I'm going to modify the bracket slightly, just so that obviously when I put the new pipe in, I can actually fit it in correctly. So and obviously there's different ends and bits and pieces there. So the trick is to work out how much pipe I'm going to need, bearing in mind there's two of them here. Is if you take a piece of rope and then go round the whole length of the pipe. Obviously I'm trying to do this one-handed, but if you were to hold the pipe and then pull the string along, and then once you get to the end, you then, whatever you end up, say like here or there, whatever, if you then cut it, then your piece of rope will then be a guide on how much new pipe you would have to fit. Now, because these have got all the curves and things like that, you're not expected to get them bang on. So obviously you do your best, but if it's slightly out, don't worry about it. And the other thing to remember with brake hoses is try and make them slightly longer, because if you make a mistake, you can rectify it. If the pipe was too short, then obviously you've then wasted a whole load of pipe. So always make your pipe just probably about 2 or 3 mil longer. That will give you a bit of leeway if you end up messing up. Now what I've done is I've actually staggered my pipes, because when you've got the two unions side by side, I tell you what, 2 seconds. Right, I just had to pause it there, just so I can get my unions. You got these types of unions, which is double male going into a single female, or there's this one, which is a female and a male together, which is a lot smaller than that one there. But the reason why I staggered the pipes is you don't want, that one there being close to the other one, because if they're too close apart, if they're too close, they are likely to possibly come into contact with each other and sort of cause a bit of vibration. So by staggering it, one there and say like one up there, you reduce these two unions coming into contact with each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and sort out what sort of length pipe I'm going to need, and I'll make the new pipe, and hopefully I should bring you back and we can start fitting the new pipes in. Well, what can I say? That was an absolute flipping nightmare of a job. I'm glad I didn't record it, because I was speaking all sorts of French words, and yeah, I hate to think what the neighbours are thinking of me right now, but yeah, that was an absolute nightmare. Alright, so I just need to nail my back. Right, so there's the pipes. I tweaked it a little bit on this pipe here, only because that one goes towards the driver's side, and I had to cut the pipe roughly where the bracket is, and I'll show you that in a second. But because I had to cut the pipe, I had to roughly guess on how long the pipe was. So lucky enough, I had this little bit as a sort of get me out of trouble card, so that if it was slightly longer, I can just put a slight curve in it just here, and it will go along. And that's those joins I put in. And as you can see, I've staggered it, because if I had that other union close together, it'd be quite tight here. But for me to stagger it like that, I'm quite happy with the pipe. Yeah, it's bloody nightmare. The pipe was quite badly deteriorated round here, so again, it's something I had to guess. But yeah, I shaped the pipe sort of outside, and then once the pipe is roughly shaped to the rough size, then I brought it under the car and then clipped it on. Make sure that these brake pipes don't catch any metalwork, and you could get like a few sheets of paper or even your finger behind. That's what these clips are for. They're meant to hold the pipe in place, but it's not rubbing up against the bodywork. Right, now I'll show you a part that, sorry, I'm having to crawl under here. Right, I'll show you a part that was an absolute freaking nightmare. Right, is just this here is the bracket for the this here is the bracket for the tank, and as you can see, if I could try and get closer, there's the pipe. So you only had this little gap here to try and get the spanner in, and even though you can put your hand underneath or on the back of it, there was still no room to actually get a full spanner in there. So that was just an absolute freaking mission. I ended up destroying 2 of my spanners just to try and tighten that thing up. But I've got the new hoses, so all of these are brand new, including this side here. So all of that's all new. These hoses here are getting replaced, but I'm not going to do them just yet. I'm going to do the centre sphere, which is this, and as you can see, it's very rotten, and also these pipes here, so they're all getting replaced. So that's the job I've got tomorrow, is to replace this and the pipes, and once I've done that side of things, I can then focus taking the wheels off and taking the discs off. Look at them discs, they are absolute fucking horrendous. Sorry, screws for my French language, but yeah, and the other side's just as bad. But yeah, these pipes are getting replaced anyway, so yeah. So this sphere isn't too bad, although at some point in the near future I will change this one. But that one there, that sphere is starting to leak, and obviously that sphere is completely rusted out. So yeah, what can I say? I mean, those discs aren't even great either, are they? You've noticed that the panel's missing. A couple of years ago, they completely rusted out, and it was flapping in the wind. So I had to take them off before they destroy my my wheels or my tyres. But I have got, well, my friend actually kindly got hold of them for me, near enough a brand new set to go on. So all I've got to do is somehow get these bloody screws out without snapping and fit them on. So once I've done all the brakes and stuff, it's going to have the new panels on, it's going to have new pipe work, it's going to have new suspension pipes for the rams, and obviously this accumulator, all of that's getting replaced. Yeah, what can I say, new brake pipes, new flexis. Yeah, I hate to think on how much I spent this month. Well, I know that I ordered the brakes back in January, but yeah, I think probably all of this work, if you were to take it to a garage, you're looking easily about £1,500. I'm a fully qualified mechanic, and yeah, so labour is a labour of love for me, really. So apart from parts I can get them at trade price. So for, I would say, with trade prices, I'm looking round about the £800 mark is what I spent on parts. So yeah, it's a bit crazy under here. But what I want to try and do is just tidy up this pipe here. It's quite close to the framework here, so I'm going to sort this pipe out, and then hopefully I think a cup of tea is in order, and then start thinking of putting the tank back in. And that's the one thing I want to try and do, is put that heavy tank back in, and then tomorrow we can then focus on suspension work. Right, I know I haven't really been filming quite a lot lately, and I'm what can I say, not a lot of you are aware, but I suffer with dyspraxia, which is coordination, and I can't keep my fingers sort of still. It sort of twitches, and obviously the older you get, the worse it becomes. So I'm doing my best to try and keep a steady hand, but obviously it's quite hard. I'm still in the process of trying sorting my camera fiasco out. Obviously with this lockdown business, is no one knows anything. So yeah, I think I might have to buy a camera locally. I think that's what I might end up doing. Right, well, as you can hear in my voice is struggling, so I'm gonna have a cup of tea, quickly get this tank back on. I'm also gonna quickly clean this as well, because it's absolute filthy, so I'm gonna give that a bloody good clean too, well, as much as I can anyway. And then while that's drying, I can then whack the tank back on. So right, hopefully the next video I'll show you will be me putting the tank back on. Right, let's crack on. Well, what a day. I know I haven't got my glasses on, but for the last few sort of episodes or downloads, I've been trying to catch up with all the bits and pieces that go with it. So yeah, yeah, what a busy day. and I didn't take any photos or any videos of me fitting the tank or even after the tank, because it was far too hot, I was far too tired. All I wanted to do is go home and have a nice cold shower. So I just put all the tools away, and yeah, just wanted to get home, put my feet up. So right, tomorrow is Friday. So tomorrow we are going to start work on the suspension side of things. So the new replacement suspension ram that I've got has the sphere attached to it. So I've got to come up with a solution on how to undo that sphere, on the unit, because I got this unit off eBay and I've cleaned it all up and all that stuff. But what they should have done is, in order to remove that ram off the subframe, they needed to move that sphere first, and then the ram will then come out. What the people have done is cut the subframe and then just left the ram with the sphere all in one. So I'm now kind of stuck on, okay, how am I going to get that sphere off the ram? So first thing tomorrow morning, my priority will be trying to take that sphere off the ram, obviously, and then I will start prepping the car. So I've got to lower the front down and just leave the back as it is, and then start the engine, and then obviously lower the car so there's no pressure in the system at all, and then I'll then jack up the back end of the car so I can then get underneath to then undo all the pipes and the bits and pieces that I need to do to it. So tomorrow is going to be a very, very busy day. It's going to be a long day. I'll do my utmost best to try and get you some more footage as much as I can, and yeah, hopefully we should be able to learn more about the car and everything else. But if there's any content that I'm missing and you would like a little bit more information, please let me know as soon as possible. Only because the white C5 that is currently parked next to my car that's what the work that we're doing on mine, we're going to do the same onto the white car as well. So if there's any content or any information you want, let me know, and I'll try my best to obviously video it and hopefully get it out to you guys on YouTube. So yeah, what more can I say, eh? Well, I'm going to leave it here. I'm so tired. I'm just ready to go to sleep. So if you like my content, please subscribe, and if you want to hear any further notifications of the next videos that I upload, please hit the bell. Please, I would love your comments. Comments make me happy. You gotta have a bit of fun in life, ain't you? But yeah. Any information you guys want, please let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. Right, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.